All right, guys. So today we got to talk about my favorite U.S. Senator, the Southern dandy himself, Lindsey Girly Man Graham. I mean, whoo, that boy is sweeter than nectarine, huh? But anyways, so apparently the Georgia Secretary of State has said that Lindsey Graham tried to get him to invalidate perfectly legal votes. Mind you, Georgia is still a red state. That guy's a Republican. Okay? And we know now that Lindsey Graham, according to what he says, tried to get him to throw out perfectly legal votes. Now, had this been somebody in Alaska or Washington State or California, that's one thing. But Georgia's right next to South Carolina. Look at it on the map. And Lindsey Graham is a U.S. Senator from South Carolina. See, that's what. Given, I would question this, but given all the other actions that Lindsey Graham does, can I really trust him? Because he mentioned one time how you shouldn't be just picking judges before the general election, and yet we know that he changed his mind completely. Then he says he supports gun rights, but he supports red flag laws. Now, it doesn't matter how you feel about abortion. He claims to be pro-life, but then you see him supporting abortion legislation. So it's like, it doesn't really matter where you are on the political side of the aisle. Lindsey Graham is not good for your party. And let's be honest, he's not really a Republican. He's what you call a rhino, Republican in name only. You would expect a Democrat to support abortion. You expect a Democrat to support gun control. You would expect a Democrat to basically be a Democrat. And that's the problem with South Carolina. Most of your Republicans there aren't Republicans. They're holdovers from the old Dixiecrat party. And even people who are newly elected, they still have the old Dixiecrat mindset. One of the only people that I've ever seen who's gotten out of that mindset, who never really had it, was this guy who represents Anderson County in South Carolina called Jonathan Hill. Great politician, probably the best one I've ever met in my entire life. It is hard to earn my trust as a judge, politician, lawyer, especially a cop. But that man has convinced me that there's at least one honest politician out there. At least one. And I've never seen anything quite like him before, and I doubt I'll ever meet somebody like him again. So Jonathan Hill, if you're watching this video, run for governor. Please. I'm begging you. But back to Lindsey Dandy Boy Graham. Oh, Lord. So you're so hell-bent on this election conspiracy. From the same man who you call a racist, you call a sexist, you call a bigot. You want him to win now. Interesting. I mean, Lindsey, Lindsey's single. And I don't know who he's into. But Lindsey, maybe you could find a man if you want so much of a freaking liar, because even men don't like liars. All right. So I mean, listen. I'm so proud of my state for keep electing, a not so openly, LGBT senator. But this man has left a clear path of deceit, lies, and cheating. In fact, Lindsey Graham has more money now than he ever did after he got into politics. I saw something I never quite got. How do you gain money from getting into politics? How do you make so much money? And then I look at the salary for like a U.S. senator. This dude's making a lot more than what the U.S. senator's salary is. So where's that money coming from? Now, I got a lot of questions about Lindsey Graham. But back to the whole thing of him trying to invalidate votes. Some of those votes were military votes, so that really pissed me off. Because Georgia's a military state. You got Fort Stewart, you got Fort Gordon, you got Marine Post, you got a whole bunch of places there that are military, and he tried to get them to invalidate some of those votes. There's a link in the description with the link to the story. It's been covered everywhere, but that concerns me. See, I think now the FBI should definitely step in. Somebody with some kind of law enforcement credentials should step in to investigate Lindsey Graham, because if this story is true, and mind you, this is only an official saying this, but given what Lindsey Graham has done, given how much I can't trust him, I believe it. And they've done a recount in Georgia, and they're apparently, from what I hear, they might do another one. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. But my whole thing is, it's just that if you're so confident that the Democrats cheated, if you're so confident that there was a massive election fraud, right? Why do you do this? Especially in a freaking state. You know, there's civil unrest still going on in this country. And we know that state turned blue because of the black vote, in the Latino vote. So why would you then throw out votes knowing that's going to cause civil unrest? Right now, the last thing you want to do is invalidate those votes. But see, Lindsey Graham doesn't care because he's up in freaking Washington. Lindsey Graham doesn't care because he's not in your neighborhoods. Lindsey Graham doesn't care because at the end of the day, the people of South Carolina, just like with Strom Thurmond, will keep electing him over and over and over again and never demand anything different from him. That's why South Carolina is a so-called red state, and yet it's one of the highest tax states out there. It doesn't have open carry, but Washington State does. It doesn't have legal weed, but almost but pretty much only 17 other states, 16 other states have weed illegal. It's super illegal in freaking South Carolina. If you look at some of the laws, some of the freaking incarceration rates, some of the crazy local ordinances, Lindsey Graham supports all that stuff. But for some reason, South Carolinians, probably the most stubborn state I've ever seen in my life. How much do you want to be abused continuously? Don't you want to open carry? Don't you want legal weed? Aren't you tired of paying high taxes? You're a red state. Act like a red state and quit electing this damn crook. But you ain't gonna listen. And so with this whole thing with Lindsey Graham, this whole thing with election meddling, that not only does that not shock me, I'm surprised it didn't come out sooner. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. It's an extra video just for you guys. Just give you my view on Lindsey Graham, because trust me, when the Lindsey Graham news comes out, I'll make a video because I hate Lindsey Graham with a passion. And I know he hates me too. I've heard him talk about me before. I heard through the grapevine that he does not like me. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Lindsey, I don't like you either. I don't really like you either because I'm not gay. Anyways, horns up and peace out.